Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Cheap Heat TV. I am Scott E. Morgan, and tonight we have a special guest, and I'm really interested to see how this goes. I haven't talked to him in quite some time, but before we get there, let's bring on my cohorts. Uh, the first guy, Upbeat Xanders.
Hey Scott.
There you go. Hey, look at you, got
It's
like a full background.
I'm
Everything good.
so I've been hearing a lot of complaints from the people online and other stuff like that about the backgrounds and the maps and the lots, and so I'm trying to fix some of this stuff ahead of time going into the winter and just the hard months of like cold and kind of just suck. So I'm preparing myself. I'm sorry.
Hey
I'm glad you enjoy it though. It
I,
looks very dark.
It is dark. It is a little depressing compared to like what I would expect from the upbeat Xanders to be. But I'm sure it's one of those things where
It's for the viewing
it's
audience.
for
My
the viewing
voice is gonna
audience.
be soothing. It's gonna be perfect. It's whenever this comes out on Anchor, which is like where the numbers really are, it's gonna hit the airwaves and it's just gonna be so soothing because everybody's gonna be not distracted by maps and outside stuff.
Yeah,
And we're
man,
good.
just let your positivity shine. That's what it is.
That's
I get it.
right.
Oh, I get it, man. I'm right there with you. All right, and let's bring on our other cohort. He is here. He is there. He's everywhere. It is the king of all wrestling media, Gene Jackson.
What's up? Look at upbeat Xanders fly from a mine shaft tonight. That's great.
Okay, I was about to say, like, Gene, he always, like, he has a new iteration for you every single time, but he always hits the fucking go home. He hits the finish every single time.
That's
He's
right.
making sure he's putting over the fact he knows your name. Is
That's
that the
right.
only
'Cause,
thing?
me and you did 60-something episodes together, and you're like the king of
Podcast.
I
stuff.
try stuff.
Gene
I try new
Jenkins,
things, guys.
Jackson
Gene,
guy.
that's not even close. I'd never compare you to that crazy person. I've heard he's called a ruckus everywhere this weekend, but we're not going to talk about that. I'm going to do the hand gestures to just get off the subject. I mean, we would normally. What is this? Do we even want to bring it up? Do we even consider this a topic we should bring up anymore about any other cohorts that we have? Or are we just moving on?
No, I mean, why would we talk about it? I mean, we're weeks into this.
Months,
Like,
months.
yeah, I mean,
You know what? Here's if people want to ask in the comments and want to say something about it, we'll say something about it. I think otherwise we'll just kind of leave it.
Should just not
yeah.
worry about
Otherwise,
it
we'll just
because
assume
nobody
nobody
else
cares.
can. Hey, well, Scott, I mean, do you want to do like I could do the intro for him because the special guest you were talking about's like this guy's been my boy for hell over 5 years, and we've got to hang out. And thanks for throwing me off, Gene. This is why I like Anchor. Nobody gets to see Gene's subtle nonsense that he throws over in the background.
I didn't
But
say nothing.
okay, do you want to do it? Do you want to do his intro, or do you want Scott? Or Scott, what do you want to do, buddy?
Nah, man,
Who?
I think
Mako's here? Who's
No,
intro?
Mako's not here.
oh, you're talking about our special guest.
Mako's special. I
No,
mean,
no,
like,
no.
do y'all have?
Scott's the guy that does the intros.
Okay,
now.
well,
He's like the
okay,
announcer.
Okay. Well, then
But you can do it if you want to. I mean, I don't.
Charles, I'm gonna let Charles have this one because he is the bigger friend of Charles than I do.
That's true.
I,
You are.
I
He
don't
is
know. I don't know
a
enough
lot
about
bigger
it.
of a friend. Anyways, so first, let me just put over real quick, guys. If you didn't watch last week's episode, it was of Kevin Ryan. He did not show his face. We think it's Kevin Ryan. We're still like Benny, the new
Maybe.
producer's out there making sure, doing some voice stuff with other podcasts to make sure it was, but we're still advertising it as Kevin Ryan. Go listen. But instead, we're going to have my really tall, massive friend, the best big man in Georgia by far, the Chief, Austin Towers. Austin Towers, how you doing?
Hey.
Hey, wait, I'm sorry. This is we've got a new producer. Smokey, the producer, kind of like is on hiatus, and he's letting his underling Benny run the show. I'll say
Yeah, this
Austin
is
Towers.
Benny. That's the guy that's
Benny.
running the board right there.
He's
so
running the board today, Towers. But let me do this one more time. Austin Towers.
I like it. I like the whole intro and everything, man. You know,
What are you
7
doing?
foot friend and everything.
The best,
What do you
best,
think about
best big
Xander's
man in pro
background
wrestling.
there? He's
Dude, I feel like something is going to come out the background and just like
Fan of the void.
pull him into the darkness, and he'll just disappear.
Fingers crossed, guys.
There's
Fingers
There you
a
go.
lot of people
What
banking
is-
on that right now.
What's
There's a
that? What's
lot
that
of
scary
people.
movie? I feel like I've seen a scary movie to where they're doing like
Tower
Skype or what,
He's in the Blair Witch Project over there.
something like
Every
that,
podcast
man.
is going to end with him standing in the corner with snot running down his nose.
It's so
Yeah,
creepy.
man.
Luckily, I've got a T-shirt that's like a soccer shirt, so it's not as intimidating as some other outfits I could be wearing. Yeah, what's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
here. That's that's all I can say right now. Still working right now, man. That's doing the best that I can.
So you say you're here. Where are you? Because I mean, like you were on the ascent. Is that fair to say you were like on the ascent up the first time we spoke to you? Like what, 2 years ago?
It was 2 years. It was at the start. It was at the start of my ascent in Georgia. Yeah, I finally started getting some Georgia bookings, and that started popping up.
People
He was
started
surrounded
listening
in
to
belts
you.
last time we talked.
He was.
I mean, I still got three. I still got three left. So I mean, like,
Hey,
I'm still doing my thing.
We're still happy for
appreciate
you,
it.
but like you were, the biggest thing is people were listening to you, because that's kind of always been a thing. Like with you and some other guys in that area, not everybody wants to listen. Like sometimes they're just, people tell you to go out there and perform, and you never get to speak, which was, I mean, one of your strong suits in my opinion. So, I mean, do you feel like you're still getting that opportunity? Do you feel like you're kind of being hushed after a certain while, or what's going on with you?
I feel like where I was back then and how I am now, I don't want to say it's more or less the same, but it's like I'll say this, like I have no trouble appearing at places. I don't have to fight to get a spot somewhere, and right now I got some missions to take care of over at certain places, but I know once the time comes, I'm gonna pop up in other places. So I'm not like struggling to find a place to really show what I can do right now. I feel like more just like what my mission is right now is just to finish out in Georgia and do as much as I possibly can here in the state. I don't want to be here too long. And I keep hearing that don't stay here for too long. But I feel like, being wrestling for 7-8 years and only now getting in Georgia, I feel like I still have just a little bit more to go. So that's what I'll say right now.
You
mentioned, that, people listening to him. I think it bears mentioning that Austin Towers cut the greatest promo that's ever been cut on CheapHeatTV. That still stands. Nobody's.
Do I still hold that? 2 years?
Yeah, man. Because most people don't have the guts. Usually, when Xanders calls them out for a promo, they're just like,
yeah,
I don't have a promo ready.
So that means I don't have to defend it. So
you don't have to defend it, but I think you should probably call somebody out before this.
Benny has never heard you cut a promo.
Yeah, because Benny's going to want to hear.
Benny's going to want to. He's hitting me up in the back.
And plus, now you got to kind of prove Xanders wrong, because maybe I took this wrong. You tell me how you took it. But the way Xander started this out, he's like, last time you were here, you were kind of on your ascent, which almost like he was trying to imply, like now you're like on the descent, like. Now you're at the bottom, man. Like you was going up last time, but now, man, you're just
Towers.
You
and I both know that they try to play us against each other, man. Like there's
it's okay, man. Look, I'm not doing not another thing. I'm not doing not another thing in the ring with Xanders, because I already know the first thing he's gonna get is a damn kendo stick. And as soon as I see him with a kendo stick, that's a wrap.
That's not me.
I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it no more.
I'm still tagging with Scott E. Morgan down there. I'm kind of taking off the leash. That's been the problem. Is like I don't do it anymore, so I just took Scott off the leash and let him do it.
Well,
have people stopped chopping Scott?
You have no problem of going wrestling anywhere you want. Like that's not really the case with some of the people on the screen now. Like they can't go just anywhere. They have to kind of
we have to. We're talking about Benny. Benny has to really book himself into something. Oh, he's not on the screen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, Scott now doesn't even bump for suplexes, dude. He doesn't bump for power bombs. So you know a little bit about the A4 kids, right?
Damn it. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know who the Dome is? The guy who wears the tinfoil hat.
Wait,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Maybe I've been
Wait,
gone there for
again?
so long. What?
He wears a tinfoil hat. He's
He goes
called the
by the
Dome.
dome.
They chant the
Justin,
Dome at him, dude.
Hey, he liked one of our videos and it gave his whole name. Let me find it while y'all are doing
If a
that.
flying headbutt is not his finish, he has failed.
Yeah, he put
That's all
the
he
A
did.
headbutt is his every move, sir. I mean,
but he
everything he does
He
revolves
did put
around.
the mistake he made was putting the tinfoil hat on Scott's head, and then Scott proceeded to drop him from his 4-foot frame to the floor without any help, without any guidance. Just
Oh, here it
really.
is. His name, and I didn't know this until he posted this comment 2 days ago. His actual name is the Dome Cole Chrome.
Cole Chrome. There you have it.
Cole Chrome, the Dome.
We went
which,
from
I
the
mean,
Chief to the Dome. Oh,
you know, I don't
No,
think I
no
don't think he can pull
comment.
off a promo. You don't want to cut a promo on that guy because he's
No,
going to come back hot.
I'm good.
Well, we
that's
did
a,
He's
that's a
going to come back
headbutt.
hot.
All right, so this might be something we talk about. No, we're gonna go ahead. Let's just blow through our material. You might have had a promo better with Gene Jackson leading the charge recently with a. Do you know who AWOL is? Because you're
Yes.
he had a 2.5 minute conversation, 6-minute conversation with AWOL.
No, we had a good Lord. It was what, 10-minute conversation at least, and that's with some of it trimmed out. No, we didn't trim anything out. I take that back. No, we told him we were going to.
But we did, yeah, we did tell him we could trim some stuff out. But his electric knee pads. But he cuts an unbelievable promo on there, Towers. That might have you beat, dude, for real.
Hey, look, man.
You don't want to go
holding the title for that long. Come on now.
Yeah,
Someone's got to
beat
beat me.
itself. Unfortunately, it was like Mako's. All of his titles he holds, the companies fail, and that's the only way he really keeps on.
I mean,
to
that
it.
guy's his own
awesome.
manager. He's got 4 different names. He's like,
AWOL.
Zebekiah, something, another, and he starts talking about AWOL. Then it turns out he is AWOL. He's the manager. He's the wrestler. He's all that.
He's all of it.
All of it.
He's a living gimmick. So you are
God.
you're not quite the living gimmick. Sorry, Towers.
Yeah, it's fine. It's the thing that speaks for itself. That's what I can say. Yeah, that's my gimmick. I speak for myself. You know?
That's all. And I bet it's. Do you feel you're getting more like opportunities to tell? Because you said you have stuff to finish. Do you feel like you're getting those opportunities to tell stories like maybe you weren't getting 5 years ago, 2 years ago, even? You were just getting those?
Yes and no. I'm doing really well as far as being able to show a different side of me over at Southern Violence and Wrestling. I'm with the Left Hand Path over there. Yeah. And you know you're fond of them. So so we've been I've been there for about
Curry's my favorite. He'll always be my favorite Left Hand Path. He's
everybody's favorite.
Dude, he's my Left Hand Path like #1 guest. He's my #1 guest, period. I've tried so hard to tie that Joker down to an interview.
Yeah.
He's
good
a
luck.
funny dude. Yeah, it's awful.
Good luck. Good luck. But like I said, yes and no. I feel like some places I've already hit and I'm good. I just feel like I need to speak in front of new crowds more so. So like I said, once I finish out certain things over at the places that I'm at, then I'm gonna branch out to new places right now. But I don't feel like as of right now I'm being held back. You know, just kind of taking what I can get and making the best out of it.
Do you feel telling stories is something that's better for? I mean, like I'm gonna always say yes, telling stories is better for your character. But do you now feel that? Because I remember a time where you were thinking the matches is what mattered. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting out of that mindset? Is the Left Hand Path getting out of that mindset? I hope.
Well, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I love my matches and everything, but I have definitely upped my game as far as telling the story, and I actually prefer to tell a story. But that doesn't take away as far as me wanting to make sure the match is right up there with the storytelling. You know, I want people to get what's happening, but at the same time, I want them to witness what's happening as well and be able to, I feel like, be a part of that match. I feel like that's what I like to do. So and it's working so far. You know what I'm saying? Forever how long it works. You know, and if I have to get better at certain things, then I will. The grind never stops.
So I want to get your perspective on something, Towers. You're a big man, and it creates a lot of opportunity in wrestling a lot of times. I know there's probably a lot of guys that are like, man, if I had Towers' size, I'd get the opportunity here and I get the opportunity there. And it does afford you some opportunities. But do you feel like at times it limits you because there's this certain box that people feel like a big man has to be in? Like, how many times have you wanted to do something where a promoter or a booker or the guy you're working with, like, hey man, a guy your size wouldn't do that. Like, it really doesn't fit. Like, do you feel like it limits you, or is it the opportunities it affords you cancel that out and makes it all worthwhile?
Yeah, a strong yes on that, and Xander's knows a little bit about that over at another place in Alabama. Not the good place in Alabama, but the bad place in Alabama. Hold on now. I'm talking about a good place for me.
Get your pen and paper out, because Scott's been having to write down stuff that we don't know, because we're in Mississippi now. And really we've been kind of out of it. No, that's not.
God.
Towers, like, I didn't realize times were that hard, y'all.
Dude, I haven't even started shooting on anybody yet. Man, this is supposed to be
God. I did not like driving. I did not like driving to Mississippi. It was only like 3-4 times, and that was it.
Scott knows that Xanders has to take anxiety medicine going through that backwoods place. But I don't know. None of the.
Does it start with this, or does it start with this?
So the one on top is where it belongs, on top, and the one on bottom belongs where it's at. That's all I have to say.
For the viewing audience, you're welcome, because we're not going to repeat that out loud of what that sign read. Thanks for drawing that out for us, Scott. He's a very good artist. And if you're listening
on Anchor and you want to know what that's all about, watch the video on YouTube.
Like everything and subscribe. That would be more helpful, but you don't need to know what the video said. Appreciate it.
It's all good, man.
Well,
it's all good.
No, there's some good dudes over in Mississippi, man. There's some guys who understand it's the work, and and I don't know. Never mind. I almost read that out, Scott. I almost read that out loud, you moron. Scott, me and you're gonna have a private conversation with Benny. We're gonna be with HR after this about your antics on. You might be Mako'd after this evening, because
oh Lord.
Scott said thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. He's gonna get on out of here.
There you go.
No, don't worry. I got a message from Mako, but we'll get back to it, because I'm on.
He's like, let me in.
No.
Too late. No.
Might be too late, Towers, man. It might be.
I like Mako, man. That's my boy right there. He knows.
Let's put a hold on that.
As best I can remember, he's a pretty good dude, but it's hard to recall at this point. I haven't seen him in so long. I think it seems like he was all right, though. Best I recall.
We'll get you to say Mako's a piece of shit so I can clip it later. I got you.
Something like that.
Just wait for it.
We'll get you there. Don't worry. So do you feel the Southeast still has a lot to offer, like for newer guys and opportunities to learn to work? Because that's the biggest thing. Like Gene talked about, you also needed to be told, hey, look, you don't need to do that stuff. Like, that's the unnecessary things for you. You're more talented than having to do that. And it'll save, like, we had Kevin on here, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and I hope he's listening, but if he kept up the style he was wrestling from where he started before he hurt his knee, ask Aiden Andrews, it's going to keep happening. So, and I mean, like, injuries suck, and they are not just physically taxing. They are a bad mental thing for you to have to go through. Yep. So, I mean, at what point did anybody ever sit you down and be like, okay, look, dude, I'm telling you this because I'm trying to help you, not trying to hinder you? Was there anybody like that?
Oh, dude. The first person that I said two people was Orion Bishop and Wicked Nemesis. They both sat me down, and I think they were like the first ones. And when I got out of the bottom the bottom promotion. When I got out of there and they sat me down when I went to Peach State for the first time, they're the ones that like, hey man, look, like we see you got talent and everything. That's cool. You can do these moves and whatnot, but you don't have to do those. You know what I'm saying? Like I like do the whole like less is more type thing and slow down and everything like that. I think they were the first ones to really sit me down and talk about it. William Huckabee was the next one. He was let me tell you something. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a little story about William Huckabee. So when I was over at Pro South, right, and I was doing my thing over there, and I just started my rise before I wrestled Logan Creed for the first time. William Huckabee just assigned himself as my agent for every single match, he was there. And there was times where he wasn't even booked, but he would still ride with us to make sure that my matches weren't full of, wasn't full of nonsense. So we have a certain person who's in the MLW, who's doing this thing. Kind of, if you can piece it together, that's fine. So me and him were gonna have a match. Homeboy wanted to do a lot of things and bump me a lot, and he wanted to, you know what I'm saying? And
Benny.
I love him. I wouldn't say his name, but yeah.
Benny.
But anyway,
I'm glad you know wrestling though, Benny. Good job.
That's good.
Continue.
But anyway, so he's a good dude. But he wanted to bump me a lot. So and William Huckabee just comes out the side. He says, "All right, so what's happening? What we doing here?" And I'm like, "Oh, so we're doing this, we're doing that," and he's gonna, hit us such and such. And he's like, "No, you're not." And I was like, wait, what? He says, no, you're not. You know why? Because I'm your agent. So you get one bump and that's it. And you better pick whatever bump that is. And other than that, that's all you're taking. And he was like strict with it for like a whole year straight until I started to get my rise. It was William Huckabee making sure over at Pro South that I would like my matches were not like nonsense. Like it made sure to that, okay, he is only taking one bump. All right, what moves are you doing? Okay, these are the moves that you can do as far as it was in your arsenal. Do it this way. And he was really walking me through these things. It was William Huckabee and then Jeter. And Jeter whooped my ass for a year and a half, goddammit. But that he taught me so much as far as being a big man, more like as far as like walking me through it while being in the lion's den. Like he was walking me through it, coaching me while we're wrestling and everything like that. Like William Huckabee and Jeter was like a huge, as far as like mentor, like telling me what to do and giving me all the advice that I needed at the time, to where I'm basically the level I'm at right now. Like a good portion of that is because of William Huckabee and Jeter for like basically just damn near bullying me to make sure that I didn't mess up in that ring.
Like even smaller guys, and me and Scott, I mean, it's kind of what's been our only like strong suit is smaller guys don't understand how to apply heat or even give shine during the like to a bigger guy. And it's not by bumping y'all, it's by working angles, it's by working the crowd, it's by working the ring, is by using the environment and not bump. Like you don't have to bump a person to like hurt them, and people don't realize that. And like you bumping, every time that noise is made, it diminishes just a little bit more to the crowd out there, and that people just they can't understand that a lot of times, and I don't understand it.
Well, yeah, because when you have a guy that size, especially when the majority of the roster is as small as they are, I mean, you got to build to taking him down. Like it's got to mean something. Yeah. And if during the time that he's coming up, if you've watched him get bounced around like a basketball for 6 months, and then he finally gets in there with a Logan Creed or somebody big enough to match size with him, and they start bumping, well, it doesn't really mean anything, because I watched, Cam bump him, 10 times in a match. I'm not knocking Cam,
or Scott
size disparity wise. Yeah, anybody you want to list, Scott. Yeah, Scott picked him up, suplexed him, and just dropped him. Like, on his
there you go, man.
He did the Chrome Dome.
There you go, man.
So, I mean, Huckabee, I mean, that's great that those guys did that for you, because, I mean, that, for one, it preserves your body, because,
very much so.
What goes along with that, and I'm not 7 foot tall, but I was a large guy in the ring and still am. those bumps weigh a lot heavier on you than they do
Oh,
those guys that
yeah.
take the 50 bumps in the match. So you got to make them things count when you do take them too. So it's
Oh, yeah.
beneficial on a number of levels.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was taught different whenever you and Chuck the Truck were kind of growing up, Gene. Y'all were taught like, hey, look, do not take a lot of bumps. You're a big guy. And there's some places, and I'm not going to say names, big guys don't exist anymore. Everybody can do everything. Everybody should do everything. And oof, it's bad.
I came in the door not really thinking about how much bigger I was than everybody else in the room. And I mean, I grew up like, I want to be like Bam Bam Bigelow, man, because he could come off the top rope and he could take all the stuff the small guys did. And that's who I wanted to be coming in. Now, obviously, I was never going to be athletic enough or agile enough to be Bam Bam Bigelow. But, the guy that trained me when he was watching me in there working out with the other guys, like, he shoot me in. I was taking the same bumps they were. And he's like, whoa. He's like, you need to learn how to take these bumps. That's fine. He goes, but now when it comes time, we start getting ready to start working matches. No, they need to hit you with 5, 6, 7 different things and build to when you finally take a bump. And after I figured that, I was like, oh shit, I love this. This is great.
This is awesome.
I'm throwing these guys all over the place, and then they bumped me twice in a match, and
it's amazing.
That stuck with me.
And it still and you get the better reactions that way. It's crazy too, man.
Every time.
Yeah, no, coming from A4, looking back at some of my matches, man, I'd have 17, 18-minute matches, bumping 8, 9 times, doing all kinds of moves. People hardly reacting, and then 2, 3 years later, and then I am doing 2, 3 moves, only taking 1 bump. Mostly talking my stuff, and they're eating it up. And you kind of it's trial and error more so. But yeah, no, you learn as you go. You learn as you go.
Do you find finding errors do you find watching those how quickly can you correct them than maybe 2 years ago, 5 years ago? Do you feel like seeing your errors, you're more easier to let stuff go? Because even early in my career, I had a harder time letting go of stuff that did not work. And I was just so like, no, I can make this work. I know I can. And have you found yourself doing a lot more, critical thinking and reacting quicker? Cool.
Yeah. And if I'm not comfortable with the move, even if it would look good, if I were to do it, if I've never even tried it or anything like that, I'm not going to, I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put myself at risk. I don't want to put the other person at risk. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure whatever moves that I do, and it's funny because I can do a lot of moves, but I know I'm perfected in, 2 handfuls of moves that I can easily mix and match, do different kinds of spots with it, remix it and whatnot. And I can come up with a whole different types of matches with just 5 moves.
That's both giving and taking of variations of moves, because you have stuff that fits your style and what should be within a match of yours should be. I mean, it's not a matter of if it's fair or not. We're not talking about fair. This is talking about getting crowds reactions, getting people wanting to be at the shows, because we're realizing now, the wrestling business is realizing, hey, it turns out there's no money if the crowds are not there, period. There is no money if those crowds not paying a ticket and reacting.
It's just like, when the Giant came along, Paul White, they said that, and I seen him do a missile drop kick a couple of times, and I seen some matches from Japan, and they said he could do a moonsault. And they said, when he got there and started doing some of that, the power plant and everything, said, Kevin Sullivan's like, brother, don't ever let me see you do that again. Because his point was one, the risk of injury. But he's like, what the hell does it mean when Rey Mysterio and these guys do that if a 7'4", 480-pound man is able to do it later in the show? It kind of steps on their thing. So
kind of takes it away.
Well, here's what we'll do. And Towers, if you're able, this is the new podcast format. We have commercials. We have guys that pay us very good money. That's why the setups are so nice around here. So if you want to come back on the other side, I want to talk about the future. Gene, you got something before we go to commercial?
Before we go to commercial, I don't want to feel like the people in the comments are being ignored. So
sorry.
Jay Griffin commented back when we were talking about Mississippi. He said the Magnolia State ain't so bad if you have the correct prescriptions. So
Amen. Hallelujah.
Yeah. And of course, our friend friend Steve Fleasing said, "My grandmother's friend Edna has the same haircut as Xander's."
I'm glad Steve's watching the show again. And Gene, thanks for making sure you bring up comments to the people, that way we know that
I thought Towers might enjoy that, so I figured
I did.
Steve Fleasing's shout out to Steve Fleasing. I'm glad. Maybe he'll be able to get the name of the show correct. But okay, so on the backside, we're going to talk about this, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you in just a second.
Are you looking to have a good time? Well, head on down to Happy Hour Comedy Club and Restaurant in Anniston, Alabama. Shoot you some pool, play you some darts, or head on over to the bar, get you a cold beer or one of them fancy cocktail drinks. They got all that. You hungry? Get you one of the best pizzas in Anniston or anything else off the menu. They got burgers, tacos, chicken wings, anything you want. Every Thursday night, they got open mic comedy and karaoke, and live comedy every Friday and Saturday night with some of the top comedians from across the United States. Go to happyhourcomedyclub.com for more information and tell them Whitey Jenkins sent you.
Hey guys, this is Wolfie D from PG-13. Check out my podcast, Live and in Color with Wolfie D, every Monday at noon. We're talking Memphis, we're talking ECW, WCW, WWF, everywhere that I've been. We even have some great guests, some Hall of Famers on the show with us. Every Monday at noon, Live and in Color with Wolfie D.
You like barbecue? Well, of course you do, unless you're some kind of weirdo or wasn't raised right. So if you want to get some of the best barbecue around, check out P3 Barbecue. Our buddy David Estes does it up right, and he'll be glad to cater to your next event or just send you some of his award-winning sauce right there to your own doorstep. Go over and check them out on the Facebooks at facebook.com/P3 Barbecue, or give old David a call at 901-679-3452 and tell him Whitey Jenkins sent you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling, the podcast that's based on the old school, but can still help you find the good stuff from today. Dangerous Dan Colley, the Professor Jimmy Street, and the Plastic Sheik Jared are the undisputed six-man tag team champions of the wrestling podcast world. From thought-provoking topics to superstar interviews to action figure expertise, this trio does it all. And all they ask is, give me back my pro wrestling! Every other Thursday, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Get ready to get inspired. It's Xander's Inspirational Podcast, the brand new podcast with Upbeat Xanders, as he has one-on-one podcast sessions that both inspire and inform. Check it out as Xanders has a one-on-one interview with some of your favorite people in and out of the professional wrestling business. Give it a listen on CheapHeatTVLive.com. It's the Old School Dives Pro Wrestling Podcast with Shane Knowles and Gene Jackson. Every episode, they will take a deep dive into old school professional wrestling. Pro wrestlers, events, all sorts of great topics will be covered every 2 weeks right here on Old School Dives. You can find it at CheapHeatTVLive.com and at YouTube.com/CheapHeatTV. It's Old School Dives with Shane Knowles and Gene Jackson.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Benny is actually in my ear right now telling me we might have lost one of the sponsors from the commercial. That might have to be a new one. A certain person might have got us kicked out of the sponsorship after showing himself. I'm not going to say who it was or if it was Whitey Jenkins or not, but we might have lost one of our sponsors from the commercial. And if we did, then I guess we'll have to deal with it.
It reminded me when I seen Towers laughing at one of the commercials that a friend of mine who watched one of the shows recently asked, "Are those all real podcasts or is that like parodies y'all are doing?" I'm like, "No, they're real fucking podcasts." Like, well, sort of. I'm like, I don't know. Like, me and Knowles haven't done a podcast since Mako was around. So, I mean, I don't know.
ZIP's been listening, y'all.
ZIP hasn't done one since God knows when. So, in theory, they're real. But yeah, I just seen whenever you and Wicked popped up and you had that shirt on and everything, I seen Towers bust out laughing. I'm like, I'm sure you're thinking like, this ain't a real thing, is it? Like, this is for comedy, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, kind of, yeah.
It's legit real though. It doesn't exist.
He said the inspirational there. I was like, Oh,
And nobody realizes. Gene's, wait, am I not? Do you think I'm not inspirational? I was gonna say we've had a lot of inspirational. Come on, now I've always.
I
been
don't think
very
Towers
inspirational.
realizes that Upbeat Xanders is your gimmick now. I think he thinks that's
Huh?
like an ironic name that you're
well,
putting.
Because I know Xanders. It's
Huh?
funny because I've known Xanders for so long, and it's just to see him with that smile. It's just like, you know what I'm
What do you
saying?
mean? I'm smiling now.
Proof
Hang
wrestling
on,
is a
wait.
work, ain't it?
Look, you can tell I'm smiling a lot better.
Oh my
Wrestling's
God.
not a work. I'm having that much fun.
Yo.
Towers, you said would be in the back. I always have that much fun at shows, correct?
Oh man. Oh
Yeah.
no. I'm just busting his balls. That's funny though.
If you think it's a
Oh.
long ride to Mississippi, ride back with Xanders after a show.
Oh my God. I want-
Listen
It's a lot
to
of
that.
it's a
critique.
lot of happiness, a lot of
Yeah.
happiness, a lot of positive critiques for the stuff.
Oh.
I've got
Why do I even do this
no,
shit?
no.
Come
on
I
now.
could have been at home
Hang
tonight.
on, boo. Where's Benny at? Come on now.
Come on, Gene.
I'm be home eating
There's
chicken
gotta be-
wings.
There's got to be a wall somewhere.
Where
We
is
gotta put
Benny
this
at? Hold
wall
on, let's
back
flip the
up.
camera over to Benny.
Hey,
Oh
Benny,
my God,
come
that's
on,
where,
wake up,
look,
dude.
there's where Benny's at.
Come on,
Jeez.
Benny.
So I have a thing. So like,
Okay,
if
Scott.
in a perspective sense, so for the people who don't know Towers and maybe never been to one of your matches,
Wow.
or for mine, me and Towers could not be more different. Oh, like
Correct.
the two opposite spectrum of each
Yep.
other. Where
Yep.
you know, you're 7 foot, I'm 5'5". Okay, just to put it in
Ish.
perspective. So when you started, you were being told, and I remember it because I was in the back when this was told to you, that you shouldn't be doing rolls and chain wrestling and taking a lot of bumps. Where when I first started, I was getting told you shouldn't pick people up. You should be doing jumps off the top rope and all that stuff. To where now I don't leave my feet. I don't take bumps for the most part.
Well, that's
I know.
Is
I
there
know.
a question here,
And-
Scott? I'm still waiting on a question. This has been
So
very
So and Towers, you're
Therapy for
legitimately
okay.
a legitimately nice person. Where everybody knows how I am personally.
Not
So,
legitimately.
Opposites again.
I love it. I love it.
what has been the what's been the hardest part about transitioning yourself to where you are now, to where you're not necessarily listening to those kind
As
of people?
giving, you were not as giving as you were. Is that what you're trying to ask? Like,
Now I still suffer from that problem because I feel like everybody can bring something, no matter what size, no matter what style. I feel like no matter what the opponent, I feel like somebody can bring something in. And I just want to make it believable that or at least relatable. Then this is why I really like David and Goliath stories. Is because, you know, people want to believe that the small guy can beat the big dude. And, you know, especially when he's whooping up on him.
could you imagine
if you
if
do it
David
right-
and Goliath got bumped? Like, could you imagine if Goliath got bumped 3 times off those rocks and just kept feeding
Mike.
for it? Like, it wouldn't be as good of a story. So I
It
guess
wouldn't. You're right. It wouldn't. But
And
at the
Scott, real
same
quick,
time, Go ahead.
real quick, Scott believes no one brings anything to the table outside of Scott. So that's another thing that y'all are completely polar opposite on.
Yeah.
Scott believes in no.
Come on, man.
yeah,
Sorry, I digress. Continue.
it's all good. I don't know. I like to see what people got, you know, and I certainly don't like it to where whoever I'm wrestling doesn't get to at least show what they have. And even if they can't hit, like if me and Scott were in the ring, first of all, I wouldn't chop him because I know for a goddamn fact he wouldn't sell not a damn
Sorry,
thing of it.
mom. Sorry, mom.
Okay, but okay, but like it's whatever moves he can do. If we can somehow twist it to where it can make sense to where he's somehow hitting it on a big man, then I want to try and venture into that and see if we can make that into an actual thing, which I've done, you know, many times before. Some people can't hit a regular suplex on me, but you know, with the right storytelling, someone could possibly, you know, if I'm on the top or something, whatever.
With a nice gimmick. With
a nice gimmick, you know, so they can possibly pull it off, and you know, and I feel like it will get a good reaction.
Well,
and so
you've got the luck to have like those Georgia kids. We were gonna I want to talk about the future on the other side of this because there's a lot of kids over there that have the talent to do
Yeah.
to provide maybe not even a suplex, but they understand maybe I shouldn't be doing suplexes. Maybe I should be doing a headbutt gimmick because I've got a good dome or some stuff like that. Like, wait till you come across, you get bumped 3 times on the dome. You wait. Scott didn't, but you will.
No. There's a lot of talent.
I feel like Towers would at least, after 6 flying headbutts, Towers would have bumped off one of them. But Scott was like, nah, we're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
Until he went out to the floor and jacked up his knee because he finally used the bump, he
powder.
to the ground.
I took my one bump, man.
That was just powder.
Towers Powders, yes. Could that be a T-shirt? We need to get you a T-shirt made that says Towers Powders.
Oh yeah.
Basically,
donuts, man. Get you some powdered donuts. Everybody loves powdered donuts.
Dude, that old Undertaker flip over the top rope where you land on your feet out there. It's like,
God damn. I thought about that. Yeah, maybe I can pull that off.
Can you do the cane back roll?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My God, that's
the
terrifying.
key to that. You could pull that off, but these rings around the south.
Hell no. Yeah. Oh no.
Hell
See
no,
what
man.
I do? I just do the if I wanted to, I just do the Undertaker one where he'll just go and he'll plant his on the apron and then kind of just support himself over it. Sometimes I'll do that.
What's the oddest request a booker ever asked you to do, and not let's keep it PG? My mom wants it.
Not after the show.
Yeah, not after the show. Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's more of the bottom promotion that told me to do certain things. I was like, okay.
Bad wording, but probably not the best wording there, Towers. But
it's okay. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. But I mean, just taking more moves than I should, I guess.
Yeah, outside of just bad, guys not knowing what they're talking about when it comes to gimmicks or anything of the sort. A good place to work in nice bumping arenas, but we're not going to go back to the picture that Scott drew earlier. I'm glad nobody asked you to do. I'm sorry, Smokey. Sorry, Smokey. I do apologize. Gene, you got anything? I'm all tapped out, man.
I'm gonna say you're
already. God damn.
You're babbling.
Look, man, it's been a long week. I'm real tired.
I got
do you still want to play a round of one of the games with Towers?
Man, I didn't prepare.
You didn't prepare, so now we can't do it.
Well, I mean, if anybody else is, if we, okay, so what did we talk with Benny about him wanting to play?
Benny wanted to play, I'm embarrassed to say this, but.
Okay, I mean, I don't know if I have anything. I don't.
You don't have anything.
I've never been. Okay, well, Towers, can you play? Can you play a game with us? I mean, I guess
it depends on what game it is. It depends on what game.
I'll go first, and that way it gives him exactly.
All right, we got to run that. We got to run them. All right, wake up, Benny. We're doing.
It's now time for I'm embarrassed to say this, but a Cheap Heat TV exclusive.
So I go first, right?
You go first.
I was thinking the music.
We can't play the music first, though.
But we can't play the music anymore for too long. We used to be able to play the music forever, but stupid copyright issues, Towers. You understand that?
I don't know if that's what's doing it or not, but
we got kicked off the Twitch.
We'll let Scott go first.
So basically, you say I'm embarrassed to say this, but so mine is I'm embarrassed to say this, but at a low tier show here in Alabama, in the backstage area, one time I put Austin Towers' shoe over my own shoe and I could wear it. That's how big this guy's feet are. Okay, it's ridiculous. I'm embarrassed to say I have little feet compared to this 7-foot giant guy.
I'll go second.
Wait, you've got to kick it to him. You've got to kick it to him.
Gino.
Okay.
Well, that's why I said it, so he would know who to throw it to.
Yeah, the point was nice, though. I'm mad. Okay.
All right. I'm embarrassed to say this, but I did stand-up comedy in front of 6 fucking people last night in Anniston, Alabama. Sanders.
Come on, buddy.
I'm embarrassed to say this, but most of my Saturday was putting up this black screen, and it was not helpful at all. It's not very good. Austin Towers.
Man, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm embarrassed to say this, but I remember one time on my birthday, I went to Pro South, and the whole locker room got me drunk. Like, super drunk. super drunk, and I didn't remember. I didn't remember that night. It was-
Perfect. That was a great segment. Thank you so much for playing with us. Wow, that went way better than what I thought it would. Thanks, Benny. Smokey. Smokey, I'm sorry. I'm glad Smokey's at least watching the show. Smokey,
Oh,
hasn't been here
he's
very
watching over
often.
Benny's shoulder. He was pretty mad when Benny was asleep a while ago, but
Yeah.
There you go.
Smokey gets uptight when you start telling those drinking stories. But that was,
So
and that was from the top promotion. Just imagine what the bottom would have done. If you'd have been drunk.
My God.
You might have ended up on the bottom. If
I've been in that parking lot at the bottom promotion over there, and it's a debauchery. It's
I bet
Steve
you have.
pleasing. Steve pleasing roams around the
You've been in the
Oh,
parking lot in
Jesus.
Boaz, and we've heard on the news what goes on there. So
Huh? Hang on, wait. Hang on.
And also, one more thing to all the cheap heat motherfuckers.
All right, so if we're gonna go down those stories, we're gonna start promoting social medias and doing all that other stuff because I don't want to talk about the bottom promotions any longer. I do appreciate Towers. Unless Scott, what do you have? For
No,
us,
I have a
Scott?
question.
Okay,
there
go
have been-
for it.
There have other
Go ahead, man.
Other big men have had success here in the Southeast and moved to higher promotions and were unfortunate enough to keep their name, so they had to change their name, right? What would be Austin Towers' secondary name if he had to change it?
Man, I wouldn't be able to even answer that question, man.
It's too gay. Come on, dude.
I don't know. I don't know. That's actually a good question, though. And I've thought about it, but I just
you
don't.
got to start thinking about it. So
I just don't
if they
know.
pitch
I mean,
something
realistically
horrible, you can
thinking,
I was thinking this, then you can hopefully hit them with something they weren't expecting, so you don't end
Can
up
we
being
suggest Chuck the Truck? Can that be?
no.
He would have. I mean,
There's
he'd have to
only
purchase
one.
that from Chuck the Truck. I mean,
Do you know?
I'm sure Chuck the Truck would sell his gimmick for the right.
So I'll be upbeat Austin. I'll do that.
What?
Hang on. No, you. Yeah, is that how it's gonna be? Pardon me. Oh, man,
Take the
that's
same shirt and everything, man. Upbeat Chief. There it is.
Why, Gene? Don't help him out with it. Boo.
There it is.
Well, you're
Someone
not going
please.
anywhere with it. Come on now.
That's
I mean,
hateful. Why?
Damn.
That is cold-blooded. I'm working my tail off back here. Okay.
You can't quit the business every 6 months and make it somewhere. I mean,
There you go.
You got to keep a little bit of a steady pace there.
Towers.
All right, Gene. So what's the name, Gene? Because you said you had something.
What?
Do you have a
You
name
said
for
you
him?
had a name?
No. I said he needs
okay.
to come up with a secondary name so that when he gets signed by one of these places, if they pitch him something horrible, he can be like, "Hey, I actually got this in my back pocket," and hit him with that rather than end up being.
Yeah, we don't need you
you
to
know.
be named like Sam Smothers or something like that.
Well, yeah.
he's-
Oh yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
can be like Michael Stevens and have
700 aliens.
7 names and have a different name every week when you pop up on TV.
I was gonna say Scott
Gary
never
Heck.
asked a question without trying to get himself over and preparing himself for it. So Scott,
you
do
go.
you have a name for Austin Towers?
Yeah, man. Let's see what you got.
Put it on you,
Scott.
garbage.
How bad?
What you got, Scott?
How bad do we want to go? Do we want to go something?
Why do we
Do I need
hold
to-
on? First
do
of
I-
all, why do we have to go bad? How come it can't
Yeah.
be good, Scott?
I was
Because it's
gonna-
my
yeah, I was
thinking.
gonna
It's
say,
my
do I-
thinking.
Now,
It's
do
my
I need to
thinking.
cue up Benny to cue up the outro,
No.
outro so
It's
we don't
my
get kicked
thing.
off of
So what if
Facebook or
we-
something
so-
like that?
So what if it was Skylar Longball? How bad do you want to go? That's a jobber name, by the way.
I'm glad. Thank you.
Benny,
Thank you.
Benny is at
Well,
least
I mean,
kind of
we
on
had
today.
Diesel and then we had the new Diesel, so we could have like Diesel 3 or something like that. If
Diesel
he
3
got
is
signed by
pretty cool.
WWE.
I mean,
My God.
And he would be in Paul Levesque's favor because Nash is
Yeah.
his buddy. So.
all right, look. To be fair,
Three
if, it,
horse.
if Charles came up with
Nash.
something, if it was Charles' name, you would be something like
No.
Black
Boo.
Nash.
Black.
I
That
feel like as long as I can keep Towers, if I can keep Towers, that'd be dope. Because I can run with that. I like Nash Towers. God, no.
That's
It
No.
sounds like a sweet buddy cop guy.
I just like my name. I just like my name. It's very simple and effective.
That's why I like Xanders. Xanders is such a nice.
Towers is a
well.
great
I
name.
mean, if you get signed to WWE, they already took Austin Theory's first name, then they gave it back.
Exactly.
But I don't know if they're going to
Yeah,
have
so
a
I
third
know.
Austin come
I'm
along.
not gonna be Austin. As long as I can keep
So-
Towers, that's fine, I guess.
Yeah, so if
That's,
you can get you another first name ready to throw in front of Towers, you can probably pull that
That's
off.
next time you
but-
come on the show, we want a first name. I suggest
Yeah.
Matt
Yeah, we want your
Towers.
WWE name ready when you come on the show next time. We're gonna be like, all
Yeah.
right,
You're
all
gonna
right,
get
pal.
random. You're gonna get random texts from me for the next 6 months. That's just gonna come up with first Mac.
Max Towers.
Xander's daily name suggestion.
I'll
He'll
let
have
Uncle
3. He'll
know.
have 1 for WWE, 1 for AEW, and then 1 if you go to MLW.
If
you know.
if,
There you
if
go.
Dean knows me the best, well, Scott knows me pretty well too. I'm not gonna do that.
There you go.
Yeah, and Xander knows me. Don't dare me to, because I will. And it'll be the god awfulest, worst fucking names you've ever heard in your life.
You'll regret it.
Yeah.
So where are you at right now? Where's all the shows you're working? So let's put them over.
Okay, so Southern Violence and Wrestling. I am the undisputed SVW champion over there. Let's see, Wrestle America. I'm the heavyweight champion over there as well. I've been working over at Anarchy, Southern Honor. I think GIPW here and there a couple times. So right now, those are kind of just the main spots that I'm working at, and they have me slotted basically until the end of the year and then some. So once I finish out over there, I might stick with one just so I can still still have constant bookings. But yeah, those are the place right now.
There's plenty of shows out there that run like not every week. So it's you're going to get the opportunity to go and work some other
Of course.
places around the South. So that's always
Yeah,
I'm glad
I don't
keep your mainstay though.
We need a favor from you here, Austin.
What's this?
All right, and not to put you on the spot, not to put any pressure on you,
Oh boy, here it comes.
but Shane Mako has not showed up to work here for like 6 weeks. We really need a promo out of you calling out Shane Mako for not coming to work, not showing up for Cheap Heat TV.
I don't want to give him this satisfaction.
And it ain't got to be a long one. Just shame him a little bit so we can put it out there
Okay.
maybe shame him into showing up one of these days. Who knows?
Hey,
I
hang
guess
on. Do you want Scott's been flashing his phone and mentioned it several times. Do you want to?
me telling me that the reason he didn't come on is because Towers was with the guest.
Well, that's all the better.
I
Then.
mean, he was telling me.
Wait,
that.
Okay,
hang on.
but
Hang
he didn't
on.
show up for
I'm
Kevin
still,
Ryan.
you got me like mentally ready to cut a promo, so I might as well just do it.
Yes, let's do
I
it.
might as well just do it. I might as well.
Towers, the thing is all yours, buddy. Go for it.
Shane Mako, what's up, buddy? How you doing? You remember me, right? How come you didn't show up? You always got some sort of excuse, man. You like to dress nice. You like to put on the chapstick and everything. You like to make sure you good. But what about me? Huh? After everything that I've done for you, you don't want to make me look good? The chief? Do you know who you messing with, bro? I know where you live, yo. I know your associates. Don't you think that I won't do something to them? Don't you care about their safety? Don't you care about their little podcast? You know that little advertisement, upbeat Xanders and everything? What if I did something to that? That'd be on you, Shane Mako. So what I want you to do, man, okay? So the next time that you're on Cheap Heat, I want you to make sure that you apologize not only to Xanders, not only to Gene, not only to Short Scott, but I need you to apologize to me, and I need you to mean it. Because if you don't mean it, I'm going to pull up, and I'm going to smack. Well, I'm going to censor myself, so I'm just going to go ahead, and I'm just going to leave it at that, Scott. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yes.
Whoa,
Beautiful.
whoa,
Yes.
wait a minute.
No. Now,
no,
hang on,
no.
Scott. Can I say, hey, no, you relax, buddy. Hey, Scotty, easy, deep breaths, buddy. I want to say, look, buddy, we're on your side on this. We're not trying to mess with. We ain't trying to mess.
But
with
he's your associate, though.
Let's not get excited. He's not even a cohort at this point.
Come on, man.
He's out wrestling Eric Wayne, for God's sakes. And I didn't, at no point did any of us be like, that was a good idea. So no.
They encouraged him, man. I had to.
No encouragement here. Nothing but scolding on this end. And I'm upset. Scott's clearly
Well, then you
upset.
better make sure that he shows up next show, and he has to
I can't
issue an apology.
He's not help. He's not
Well,
helping.
we appreciate the help because I think that's going to get his attention. I think he's going to know that he has stepped on the wrong toes now, and it's time to come
That's
back to
some big
work.
toes you done stepped on.
Damn right. And if
Scotty-
you don't believe
Scotty.
it, ask Scott Morgan because you're stepping on his and Towers at the same time in the
That's
same
true,
pair of
Scotty.
Exactly.
Let's remember. I know the points about Scott or Towers getting all aggressive toward us is just a little. Not the. I'm not even
It's
gonna say.
a word. Take it easy. Take it easy. You're
that-
all.
We're good, Scotty. Right? We're trying to intimidate.
Scotty's fixing to call him out. Scotty's like, I got my own promo, brother. Let me tell you something.
You want me to put you on the center board for it, Scotty?
Just remember, David always goes over on Goliath.
Hey, there's only one bump in this one, brother. Superplex.
I ain't selling nothing, brother.
Scotty, you good, buddy? Was that a pretty good promo? I thought it was a great promo. I wish Montgomery is where he lives. If any of our fans want to go also slap him in the mouth, he might be at the furry place at that bar. So
I know where he works. I know where he works. I'm gonna step on his shoes the next time I see him.
Make sure you don't give him
Oh man, they won't light up after that. So that'll be terrible.
Make sure he doesn't give you the address. It will not work. So
he get his address.
Yeah, make sure you get the correct address because he'll send
contact
you all
Takiri.
over Montgomery. We know
Takiri
that
will
from
give you the
experience.
right address. I promise Takiri will. He's all for you beating the crap.
Oh,
out of him.
Takuri, I know he will. I know where Takuri lives at, so it's all good.
Takiri's my guy, man. Me and Takiri.
I love him.
Yeah,
I love that
Scott,
dude.
Scott, I'm sorry, buddy. I did cut you off. Go ahead.
Towers,
What's up, buddy?
I like you, man.
I love you too, bud.
I'm just gonna say because I'm that guy.
Yep.
Nick, I know you're a big man, but don't call this podcast a little podcast. Don't be calling me short, Scott. Because I swear to God, man, I will take every chop you got. I will laugh in your face and I will chop you down like that.
That's why I will never chop you.
I will chop you down to damn size real quick.
Thank you, Towers, for interrupting that one.
Yes, sir.
That one.
No,
that
I
might
like
be
it.
Facebook. That might
Somebody
be
book it. Somebody book it.
I have.
Wait a minute, where's the
No,
logo
no
at?
sell.
Hold on.
Oh man.
Coming soon to the second Prestige Continental show in Montgomery, out behind the bar. It's getting
Furry
cold,
bar.
guys. It may be a little chilly, so
Whoever
work fast,
sells
Scott.
first loses. Whoever sells first loses.
I lose that.
Oh my
one
God, that's gonna be
always.
an Iron Man match. It's gonna go
Yeah,
on all night.
I
Jesus
lose.
help us.
Yeah,
The
but
lot-
about to do
that
about
one lot.
35, 40 chops, man. Just have a chop war the whole time, man.
I'll be vomiting over on the side in the private area where our.
Oh,
champion
he's that,
guest-
man. I gotta guess. That's for putting your shoe in the mind, man. I've been holding that in for a long time.
He's
Not only that, he took a picture of it and posted it online, thinking that was funny, making fun of my.
Man, he's got a hateful little sense of humor, man. It's rough on a person.
I love it, man. I love it. It's funny because when he's like that to other people, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. I love it.
People don't understand. Like, I'm the nice one. I really am. We try to put that over. The E might be irrational, correct?
Oh man,
That irrational doesn't start with an E. God help us. Oh,
I love it. I love
Are
it,
you gonna put
man.
it over social media? Because
There it is.
I don't have facial hair anymore. I got rid of the beard. No Shave
Thank-
November is coming up, man.
Thank
So,
God.
I got
Thank
told I
God
do
no
not
more.
look good in a beard.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't think I've seen you
It's not
with facial
impressive.
hair.
It's not impressive.
Yeah.
yeah, this is what he
no.
looks like right here, and he has to color it for you.
Oh
to
my
know.
God.
Yeah,
Oh,
you tell me
are
that guy don't
you
look like a
serious?
sex offender right there. Come on now.
He looks like one of them characters from Napoleon Dynamite. Who's the guy who used to be an NFL player?
Uncle Rico.
Yeah, he looks like Uncle Rico, man.
Oh, you got a new nickname,
I
Xander.
got
Uncle Rico.
a new nickname. I do
Uncle
appreciate
Rico,
it.
man.
Man, Towers
Black
is always
Stash
fun having
Bomber.
you out here. Black
There it
Stash.
is. There it
Towers,
is.
man, it's always great seeing you. I'm glad you're doing
Oh,
well.
Yes, thank you.
Whenever you get out and start moving again, we're up in Mississippi right now. Definitely contact us, man. We'll get you
Oh,
in touch
yeah.
with the right people always.
Oh man, yeah, I love it here, man. I love it. It's not a little podcast; it's a big podcast. I just want to let
You help us
It's
make
a
it that
big
way. You help us
podcast.
make it that way.
There
We
you
do
go.
appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you in a bit, okay?
All right, thanks for having me
Thanks,
on, guys.
man.
Appreciate
It was a
y'all.
blast.
Yes, sir.
Fucking asshole.
Okay, well, I'm
The
sorry.
Chief always brings the entertainment, man. That's
He
what I
always
like.
he
It's
at least
always
he at least
fun.
brings something fun.
I
So
mean, yeah, you can interview and talk about wrestling and all that shit, but we had fun. I
yeah, we
mean,
did.
we
It was
got. I
amazing.
mean, he inspired Scott to make a 9/11 promo.
Oh my
God, that's
God. We're
tremendous.
definitely after 1 hour mark whenever we start reviewing
like-
Scott's horrible decisions. So,
Scott's
ladies and
like,
gentlemen, make sure that you go follow
Austin
us.
Towers is going down like the Twin Towers, brother. That's
Anyway,
what's
so can we everybody go follow us on all of our social
yeah,
medias?
for more great entertainment as Scott just provided, please check these.
Yeah, all these social medias is at Cheap Heat TV Live on most things, on most of our platforms. We're doing TikTok a little bit more. We're putting some stuff out there. CheapHeatTVLive.com is where you're going to find really everything. We're trying to be a little bit more proactive in it, and all of your likes and subscribes and shares, everything like that helps way more than you could ever realize, man. I promise. We want you to continue supporting the show. We'll try to get
Speaking
Mako
of
here.
TikTok,
Okay,
speaking
give
of
us the TikTok.
at Cheap Heat TV on TikTok, the video of you falling off the stage now has 786 views.
Famous. I'm famous.
Chuck the Truck's chair shots now have 484. While videos of our intern Benny are up over 200 now. So
Rightfully so. Let's
check
get
those out.
let's get the Benny video up a little bit more. If you want to follow Scott and watch some of his Sad Sack promos, I'm pretty sure he's going to start doing those again. So be looking forward to that.
I
Just
didn't think he was
recently,
doing that gimmick anymore. I thought we moved away from that.
well, I mean, okay, so what, he's going to be a hateful Harry? Because so far this
Yeah, that's a lot more entertaining.
I guess.
Besides him up there, like just
you want me to,
mocking the guy on the other side. Like, look at this idiot. Ah.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have any more Sad Sack Scotties, but everybody go, if you haven't checked it out lately, go check out the EPW Wrestling. They're
yeah, if you miss Mako and forget what he looks like, you can watch EPW episodes 56 and you can actually see a recent Mako match to know that he's still alive and well, and he hasn't.
Gene went with him. Gene even
I
went
was
with
there.
him.
I was in his corner. You wouldn't know it to read about it. There was no mention of me, but I was on there. I was in his corner.
Gene even
caused a distraction of the referee.
Very well done. Whatever you talked to him about, he clearly was very well distracted. Sweet shirt, by the way.
Thank you. But yeah, I caused a distraction that allowed the train wreck kid or whoever that guy was came in and took out Eric Wayne, and then Mako got the pin, and we got a victory on television. What do you think of that? That's pretty exciting.
I'm excited for you guys. I didn't hear what all you did. I just heard you were talking to the ref, and then I was trying to message Towers, who said thanks, guys. Once again, he enjoyed the show. Still no word from Mako. I'm glad Scott talks to him. Maybe we can
at least he
have
talks
him.
To Scott now. We're out of the loop. But
Scott, do you think you could book him next week? We'll go ahead and do a little booking thing. I know Gene's gonna have to get out of here, so we're gonna end the show.
Can we just treat him like a guest now? Do we just?
I guess I don't know what
months?
else to do with him. I guess Scott, do you think you could get him booked? I have this.
I mean, I'm his manager, but I don't hear from him. So
yeah, we'll get him on here next week. I got him. We're doing a thing Saturday.
Okay, so do we need to ask Benny? Because I mean, Benny's got a pretty sour taste so far. But does Benny need to make
Benny's
a flyer
never met
for
him? Benny doesn't necessarily believe he's a real person at this point. But,
watch EPW. You'll watch him wrestle. So we can guarantee he's going to be the guest. Is that on you, Scott?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Ladies and gentlemen. That's
a bold. I'll tell you, that's a bold statement there. Like to guarantee that Mako's gonna be here next week.
Yeah, Scott E might be live from Montgomery next week. But Mako will be in that shot.
Me and Xanders will be here, and Scott will be live from Mako's porch or out there by the chicken coop, dragging him out in a headlock. And several chops later, he will finally speak and explain where he's been.
He will not.
We'll show him the promo that Austin Towers cut on him.
Well,
and make him think about what he's done. And then there's a video that's uploaded here that I want to shown on the show here before long that features our friend Scott E. Morgan. I think you know what I'm talking about.
I mean, it's a long video.
That's what I mean. So if we ever, maybe next week we'll replace half the ads with that video.
Well, okay. So here's going to be the thing: some of the ads that had to be removed. That's fine with me, but let's make sure if the fans want to see it, we'll put it out there because it is a lot of just Scott being Scott and what he's probably going to be doing to Mako next week. So we might even need the video. The video is embarrassing for the people involved in it because Scott just works them like a like a dog.
Well,
but anyways,
and those people don't care about embarrassing people, so we don't care about embarrassing them. So
I don't like to.
Such
I don't
is
like
the
to swing.
world.
I swing up, dude. I swing up. But
Yeah.
okay, we'll
Sure
talk
you
about
do.
it.
Sure you do.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for
I don't know
watching
who
tonight.
made that video, but clearly it's not the guy who swings up. It had to be someone
No,
else. Who
I
put
don't
that
know how to
together
do
and
any of that
uploaded it
stuff.
to the channel.
It's
here.
probably Benny. Benny's had a lot more effort.
Benny's not good at editing, I can tell you.
Is he not?
He's
Well,
working on it, but
okay, good deal. If it's at work. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thanks for joining us this evening, and y'all have a great evening, guys.